All right, here's example 5. It says solving a dual investment problem. Your grandmother needs your help. She has $50,000 to invest. Must be nice. Part of this money is to be invested in a non-insured bond paying 15% annual interest. The rest of the money to be invested in a government-issued certificate of deposit paying 7% annual interest. She's doing pretty well regardless. But we'll see. She told you that she requires $6,000 per year in extra income from the combination of the investments. How much money should be placed in each investment? All right, so that's our problem. How much should be placed in each investment? So we basically have two things. We have investment, we'll say A, and we have investment B. Okay. Investment A, what we have is we have a certain amount of money that we're going to invest in investment A. We don't really know how much that is, so that's where the variable comes in, and we'll say it's going to be X. Okay. Now the tricky part is if we put X dollars into investment A, how much do we have left for investment B? Well, a quick little thing we could do, we could say, well, what if we put $20,000 in investment A? Well, that would mean we have 30. If we put 10,000 here, we would have 40 here. If we put 40 here, we would end up having 10,000 there. So what we're actually doing is we're actually taking that $50,000 that she has, and we're going to subtract it from or by X, and that will tell us how much money that we have left. So for instance, if we put in 15 here, that's going to make that be 35. All right, so hopefully we figured that out. Another thing that we have a little bit of a difference is our interest. Okay, so we're doing basically some simple interest, so it might be kind of good to know that. The simple interest you can calculate by using this formula. So interest equals principal times rate times time. Okay, so that's what we're going to use, just simple interest. So we're going to take our principal. Our principal is the amount of money we're investing. In this case, investment A, it's X. In this case, investment B, it's $50,000 minus X. Now our rate, as you can see, these different rates. One pays 15% and the other pays 7%. Well, anytime in a problem, what you're going to do is you're going to have to write that as a decimal. So 15%, the way you write something as a decimal, you're just going to multiply it, or you can divide it by 100 to get your decimal. So 7%, if you divide 7 by 100, you get decimal 0.07. Now our time, what she's doing is she requires that per year. So our time is actually going to be 1 for both of these. That's good to know. All right. Now what we're doing is she wants the combined interest to be, $6,000. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to add this, and we should get our interest. I guess I should say interest instead of investment, but total. So what that's going to make us is we're going to add these together, and we're going to try to get it to be $6,000. Okay. So as you can see, we have a nice little equation, so we'll see if we can't figure out exactly what's going on here. So we're going to go ahead and distribute. So this will give me decimal 15x. Over here, I'm going to multiply this times both of those. Ooh, tricky. I'm going to use my calculator for this one. So 50, whoops. Remember, extraneous solutions. Times decimal 0.07. So 3,500 plus 3,500, and then minus decimal 0.07x equals 6,000. All right, so after we distribute, obviously multiplication by 1, it didn't really change my problem, so I kind of did that in my head. I'm going to go ahead and move my variable, or combine my variables, but I'm going to move this 3,500 to the opposite side of the equation. Oh, just thinking about my problem. I should have left room to write my answer, but that's okay. So I should get decimal 0.08 when I combine my variables is equal to 1,500. Just kidding, 2,500. 2,500. Okay, next thing I need to do is go ahead and divide by decimal 0.8. It's hard to write at the bottom of this board, but I'll survive. Oh, and I'll get x is equal to, and again, I'm going to use my trusty calculator this time, so 2,500 divided by decimal 0.8. So I get $31,250. Okay, so that's the answer we got. But again, what we need to do is basically make sure that we understand our problem. This number right here is X, and what that represents is that represents how much money she would have to invest in investment A at 15% to be able to accomplish this goal. Now what we need to do also is figure out how much she needs to invest in investment B. So to do that, we'll take this and we'll subtract it from 50,000. So I know I'll have, say, 500. Let's bump that up. So now this is going to be A2. So I think it's going to be maybe 8,000. Oh, just kidding. It's going to be $18,000. So $18,750 is how much we'd have to invest in investment B to accomplish our goal of getting Nanny $6,000.